Okay, hello everyone. I'm Stuart Fishman. This is the Web Yeshiva, and this is the first of our two meetings about how to pick Arba Minim. It's like with a certain amount of hesitation that I thought about how to, or even whether to talk about the idea how to pick Arba Minim, because really picking Arba Minim is not is something very, very visual. Like we've talked about Hilchot Shabbat. We can talk about how do we reheat food. We can talk about all sorts of mitzvot. But Arba Minim is like very, very visual. And if you like how old? When I was a little boy, even when I was not a little boy, and I grew up in New York, you know, you went people would sell Arba Minim, and like you get, let's see, say we're going to talk about the lulav. You get up the people who the kids, they were basically, it's business handled by teenagers or people they were working out of Jewish bookstores. They had a box of lulavim, a box of ekrogim, a box of hadassim, and it's hard if you haven't really learned halachot in some sort of detail. What do I pick? And you're trusting some like 17-year-old to you, this is a good one. Maybe he knows, maybe he doesn't know. About since I came on Aliyah in the 90s, and there are more and more books with color illustrations. There are some very, very good books with color plates on how to pick Arba Minim. The one will be working from today is called Kashrut Arba Minim. It's from Michal Michal Stern, who's a great Rav Yerushalayim. I think his was the first book of the Halachot of Arba Minim with color plate, with colored illustrations, with color photos. And we'll be looking at a lot of his pictures of like lulavim, that really look strange. I've seen a lot of these things, but like here, like this is like, there's another picture to show. There's all sorts of pictures. There's a particular flaw with an etrog that the tip looks like this, called hedmek, or something that we see quite often. Where's my picture now? They open up all my pictures. There's another picture of another type of lulav. Here it is. A lulav that the top leaves look wrinkled. I mean, there are all sorts of lulavim out there. And my best advice to everyone is when you, it's even in the picture here, and how to pick. I put the pictures together. Buy your Arba Minim in packages that come with a hashgacha that you've heard of, like aravos mehudaros. And aravos are pretty easy to get your hands on, but like I have a sticker here that I saved from a few years ago. Here, the lulavim we're going to talk about today. There's a lot that can be wrong with a lulav. Nivdak od Imar Tzedek b'pikuach of Moshe Memshin Klein. I'm not sure who he is. Rav Daimor Tzedek b'Yisrael Rav Vazner Shlita. When Rav Vazner Zatzal was the Rav of Zichron Meir, he was nifter a few years ago. So if Rav Vazner has somebody who is supervising the sorting and packaging of the lulavim, I rely on that. And we'll talk today about what does his guarantee say. Yashar, the lulav is straight. Sagur kimat ad malamala, almost completely closed to its tip. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So people here in Eretz Yisrael, esrogim only come in closed boxes with hashgachot. Hadassim come in closed plastic bags with a hashgacha, which we'll talk about probably next week. Lately, aravos have been coming in closed bags, which is nice. Love him not so much. Love him not so much. So that's what I'm going to talk about lulav today. What am I looking for in a lulav? Okay, but it's if you go to a shuk Arba Minim, an Arba Minim market, and they have lulavim in closed bags with a hashgacha that you've heard of, and these people are honest, because imagine you can forge stickers also, you're better off. You really are better off. All right. So that's my personal opinion. What am I looking for in a lulav? So we have to see the Mishnah Berurah, then we'll look at some pictures. Okay. Here's the Mishnah Berurah. There's a mitzvah of lulav, and Dine lulav tetzifim, laws Halachot of lulav 9 paragraphs. We've all seen palm trees if you live in Israel. So basically, the lulav is a very young branch off of palm tree. I don't think once I saw a lulav growing in a palm tree, but all of these branches with time would open up to be a palm tree, right? And I think that's like pretty clear. In the sense, I should have had a picture of a palm tree here. Let's just get a picture of a palm tree. All right, palm trees. Should have put up a picture of that. Palm tree. There. Save image. Here's the first thing I get from Google Images. Okay, palm tree. There, palm trees. Just save it. Open it up now. I'm sorry if I'm slow. I had a very bad cold all day. Okay, palm tree. Where's my palm tree picture? Where'd you go? I know I saved you. Here we are. There, these are palm branches that open up. They got the dates, right? But this grew, thank you very much. This started out as this, and this is kosher. So I'm gonna go. So what am I gonna do again? I want to go catch. I want to chop down my own lulav. So that's how they used to do in the old days, I guess. So go back to Mishnah Berurah. Lulav shnifrdu olav them elzel nidalu kalechrios kashafilu. That's it. So the lulavim that we buy are closed, right? They're just long, straight things. But if you can't get hold of one of those and you're out looking for a suitable lulav, because I'm alone in Hawaii, well, this already is open. So you get one that's a little bit more closed, but in theory, this might be kosher. Okay, if I would just climb up this palm tree and cut off this branch, I have a lulav in my hand, right? I mean, it's not closed, but we look at the Shulchan Aruch, which I really don't think anyone does use these things anymore. But the basic parameter, lulav shenifrdu loves a lulav whose leaves have separated one from the other. Well, they installed the little kalecharios, and they haven't dropped off. Like they used to make brooms out of lulav. I mean, that's what we see in the Gemara. Fil kosher fil agdan. Okay, it's kosher. And the Ramah says, the mitzvah is a lulav whose leaves are not separated totally. And that's why the lulavim that we use these days are all more or less superficially looking like this. The leaves have not separated. All right, so that's what you're going to see. Whenever you go looking for lulavim, you see these, and I'll say you'll never, ever, ever see this, right? No one's selling you this. You'll see when you go to the people selling schach, but no one's selling this for a lulav to the mitzvah of minim. Though in theory, you might get something that's a little closer to this, but no one's doing that. what's the tricky thing about a lulav? And when you'll go on, if you'll go to like neighborhoods who have like the big Arba Minim shuk, big market. In America, not so much, but you'll see people looking like this. What are they looking for? They're looking at the leaves, and you have people looking like this. Like, what are they looking for? They're looking for what's in the Shulchan Aruch Sif Gimel, which is one of the tricky things about a lulav, because again, where's my sign? I have another picture here. Okay, open and share. Where's my and? I hate when this happens. 1 minute, please. Go back to here. I have to start all over again. There's a picture I really want to share with you. Come to Papa. Here you are. And most neighborhoods, like I live in a frat, but every neighborhood in Israel at least, I don't know how many people listen on the archives, but all over Israel you're going to see signs, Arba Minim, and then you see the price list. Set kasher, 70 shekels. Again, I don't know. You don't know who's sorting this out, because most of these things are run by 19-year-olds. Kasher, 70 shekels. Now, how do they know what's kasher? Because their wholesaler told them. All right. Mahudar. Mahudar is good. 80 shekels. Mahadran. Super good. 90 shekels. Aleph. Super duper duper duper. 200. So what's the difference between 70 shekel lulav and the 200 shekel lulav? There is a difference, and we're going to see that right now. All right. Why am I getting for the extra 130 shekels? A very fair question. So we have to know a little about how lulavs are. Lulav, first we'll see the pictures, and then we'll see the Shulchan Aruch. A lulav, if you probably have done this, or you peel off leaves, the leaves can be separated, right? Each leaf is folded double. Okay, each leaf is folded double. And there's a tallest leaf. There's a central leaf. That central leaf is called, as we look at it, there are other opinions in Halacha. The standard opinion is the central leaf is called the tiomet. That central leaf is called tiomet. Just keep that in mind. What do I need to know about the tiomet? It has to be whole. Other leaves, you can fold them. Maybe they'll be separated. The tiomet has to be intact. And the way the lulav is, it starts with, you see that better in the palm trees than you see in a lulav. Okay? Where did we go? Where's my palm tree picture? This is the palm tree. Okay, imagine this is the stem. Should I call it the stem? This is the branch. Look at this branch. Goes here, 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 and then the leaves start coming off. Okay? And then it goes and goes and goes. And since this palm tree is more mature, the leaves each separate leaf has already unfolded. But the lulav that we get these days, because we're not using that type of lulav, we want the closed lulav, as the Ramah points out. The leaves are all together, and there's the leaf that goes all the way to the top. That's called the tiomet. And what's the halacha of the tiomet? That's what people are looking at. They look at their lulavim. Especially if they're willing to spend a lot of money on the lulav. So we go back to the Mishnah Brura. Briat alam shalulav hi kusheng shem. The nature of the leaves of a lulav are shem gedem bet dvukim mikaban. They're double leaves and they're attached from behind. I would say it's a single leaf that's folded over. But the Mechaber puts it like this. They're actually doubled leaves. They're attached at their backs. Okay. For gav shel beit alin hu nikra tiomet. For the machaber, the tiomet is the spine of each folded leaf. Okay, nechlaka tiomet ubarova alim psula. For the machaber, I have all these leaves. I look at all the leaves. If each leaf is split most of its length, then the lulav is puzzle. You'll almost never find that, I think. For the leaves are not split. Certainly not most of the leaves split most of their length. Okay, but that's the machaber. So the machaber, there's not that much really to be like obsessing about. Okay. What people obsess about is the Ramah, because we're Ashkenazim. Yesh mefarshin lomar. The imlecha ka'Allah ha'elyon ha'emtzai sha'al hashidra. There are those who say, and that's how we hold. I'm speaking as Ashkenazi. If that central longest leaf that goes to the top of the lulav above its spine, if it's split down to the spine, that's mikre tiyomet upasel. Okay, so his first opinion is very, very lenient. I go back to the picture of the lulav of tiyomet. This is the central leaf. This is the spine. Okay, if this is split most of the way down, the lulav is puzzled, according to the Ramah. Okay, and that you would say, oh, I've never that those who love them don't come to market. I'll tell you right now, split all the way down. I mean, I guess because the distributors of the lulavim sort them more or less, so that lulav isn't going to make it to retail. I think not. But then, okay, milachatchila mutzam and ruchanagadi toluv shlonachla ka'elo million klal. But there are those, and Lechatchili says, ideally you'll get a lulav that central leaf has not been split at all. That is your 200 shekel lulav, not been split at all. Because some people machmir even if it's only a little split. Okay, and that's what people are looking at. I don't know what they're looking at. I don't know whether. But these people, like they're looking at that leaf, but what really, they're just, I don't know what they're looking at. But what you really, if you go to the shuk of the lulavim, they're looking over there. And like, I have another picture, all right? Here, hold on, I had a better picture. It's a picture like Arba Minim. Got a better picture. Here we are. Okay, that's the picture I really like. It's upside down. They're looking with a diamond dealer's loop at the tip of the lulav. I like those pictures. I think I have one more picture like that because they want to check the tiyon. If I'm spending 200 shekels on a lulav and you can spend more easily, I want to know what I'm getting. I want to know what I'm getting. Okay, and I have other picture. I had another picture like that. And why because I want to make sure I want to know that this leaf is really, really closed. Because that's what the Ramah, because we'll see that in the Mishnah Brura. And that's the idea. This is pretty, this I can see with my eye. It's split. How long is it split? That's this is to scale. That's like 3 or 4 millimeters. Is that critical? According to some people, yes. I want something that's totally closed. And if I'm spending, where's my little sign? If I'm spending 200 shekels for aleph, I want what Ramah would say is totally closed. Ramah says it's a lechatchila. So now we're going to see the Mishnah Brura. Okay, how closed is closed? So we have to see the Mishnah Berurah. Okay. Ada Shidra. Okay. So you start off with the Ramah. It's if the central leaf is split down to the spine of the lulav, and again, I'll just show you the picture. Where's my Tiamat picture? If it's split, according to the Ramah, if it's split from here all the way down to there, it's puzzle. And like I said, I don't think those lulavim come to market. I mean, I've been buying lulavim now. How many years? Many years, Kanain or foo. I've never seen a lulav like that. Okay, so that psul you're not going. I don't think comes to market. However, what does the Gras say? Okay, Ein Bavir Gartus going to do Yeshach Berubo, even if it's split most of the way down, which also doesn't come to market. Okay. Now the Mishnah starts saying, if it's only a little bit split, you don't have to be machmir at all. So I go back to this picture. That little split over there, Mishnah says you really don't have to worry. See it's split over there. It's even they have to put in a little black arrow. Mishnah says if that's what they're selling, you're good. All right. Then he goes on to puzzle, and if Yom Rishon Avashal Yom Kosher, because the first day you have to have Hadar. Now lechatchila, Ramah says do something lechatchila. We take that very seriously. And yeshel lulav achir. If you have two lulavim in front of you, one that looks like this, and another one, and I'll show you another picture which is interesting, which some people like. There's a leaf. It's called the kara in Hebrew, and that leaf goes from here all the way to the top. If that leaf is there, then certainly the leaves are stuck together, because the first thing that would happen if the tiamat would be split is that the leaf would come off. So if you can get a lulav that has this, some people really, really like that, because that means I know that the tip of the tiamat is very, very good. Okay. And some people don't like it because there's an idea when shaking lulav involves rattling the leaves. And if this leaf is there, that means the leaves are tightly bound. You're not going to get that rattle. But but some people do like the leaf because it means the tiamat must be intact all the way to the tippy top. All right. We go back to Mishnah Berurah. That's a little digression. Okay. Why the Ramah says that people want close to the top, like with that brown leaf, the kara. Okay. So if you have two lulavim, one has that little split of like 2 millimeters, and the other one doesn't. Go for the one that doesn't have the 2 millimeter split. But let's say my lulav does have that 2 millimeter split, and my friend has a lulav with the kara leaf on it. I have no obligation to borrow his lulav. Okay. Kesh machmir. What is the machmirin? How come they want a lulav that's close to the top? Because you're going to shake the lulav. And if there's a 2 millimeter split today, I'm going to shake my lulav. Tomorrow it's going to be a 4 millimeter split. I'm going to shake the lulav again tomorrow. It's a split. It's going to keep on growing. Okay. So the Taz says you don't have to be worried about buying a lulav with a 2 millimeter split. Okay. It broke. Your lulav broke. That I never heard of. All right, but there's also stories. All right, so that's it. So shake with less intensity. Okay, it broke. I mean it broke. I mean your lulav broke. It cracked in half? This man? Hello?
So I wasn't happy that it wasn't rattling, so I shook it really hard and then it broke. Because I never had one that didn't.
It broke what broke?
The spine broke.
No.
Because I wanted it to rattle. I thought something was wrong with it. I didn't know that. Now it's good to know. It's good to know that was like a better.
Wow, it's broke. That's very intense.
I got one that rattles afterwards.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's interesting. All right. So there's always that. Thank you for sharing that. Okay. So that's it. So the Taz, shake, you rattle gently. I'll stop that, the WebEx assistant. Okay, that's it. The Taz says it's a tefach yigud. But the Chayadim says even a mashahu, even if it's a millimeter split, that's not the lechatchila of the Ramah. Okay? And that's what people are spending a lot of money on. They're checking with diamond dealers' loops, because if you can afford it, and we'll talk about that at the end, it's 6:30 already. We'll see what's hit or mitzvah. Okay? That's a Chayadim. Okay. But he says, look at the Gra. Okay, the Gra says Rubo is bad. Up to Rubo, you're still good. And the Taz says up to Tefach, you're good. Okay. Medina and Lachosh is a cloud. It's rare for the Mishabura to say this, that really there's nothing to worry about at all. Normally, if the Chayadim says something, he takes it very seriously. He takes the Chayadim very seriously, but he says, really, Mitzad Din, you don't have to go like proud. And some people do. Like I've been to Mea Sharim, to the Shruk in Mea Sharim, and they have stores, and the front of the stores they have the sets for like 100 shekels and 50 shekels in the back, where they keep the really good stuff. You can easily put down 1,000 shekels on Arba Minim, easily. But the Mishabura says, you don't have to go crazy over this. You don't have to go crazy. I mean, if you're very, very wealthy, it's nice. We'll talk about that in a minute. How much money do you have to spend? But you don't have to go it's really not essential. All right? Up to a tefach. The Taz says up to a tefach is good. Believe me, a tefach is a lot. 8 centimeters. Again, I mean, just look at the lovim in a box. You'll never, I think, ever see a lulav that the central leaf is split 8 centimeters. They don't come to market. What you do see are other issues. So we'll go back to the Mishnah Berurah. Okay. Where is this? Here's the Mishnah Berurah. So that's the central leaf. That's important. Yavesh. Rov alav oshidraso pasel. Okay. And that's dried until it's no longer green. So when you go pick out your lulav, I haven't seen it that often, but where's my picture? I get a picture, open and share. Where's my open and share? You see them sometimes, but that's not what I wanted. Here. Sometimes you see this, that the tips of the leaves aren't green anymore. They're whitish, they're brownish. That's called yavesh. Okay. And try to avoid, don't buy those. It should be green. It should be green all the way to the top. Avoid yavesh, okay? Avoid yavesh. It shouldn't be dried out. Nistak, if the two leaves are separate, even for a little bit, they're puzzle. That I've actually seen. Okay, where is that? It's not that rare. The Nechelkat Yamet that we saw up to a tefach, is that being good is that they're together. But sometimes they get like, it's like some sort of mutant, that the top leaves, instead of being together like this, even if there's a teeny weeny gap, they actually grew in different directions. Okay, and that's called henmek, and that's possible if it's visible. Okay, that's visible. Okay, now what you call visible is like, oh, to me, if I would see this, it's just staring me in the face. So you look at the tip of the lulav that they're offering you and make sure that it doesn't look like that. The other thing that comes up a lot is I've seen them in a few times. They're wrinkled together. Okay, that's called mechuvats. I've seen lulavim like that. And this sefer, the kashrut Arba Minim, okay, he says that's the psul of mekuvats. Okay, that's this sefer. And here in Gush we have a Rav Yosef Tzvi Rimon. He told me if that's the extent of the wrinkling, and you do see a lot of them like this, it's okay. There's another guide to lulavim, and I posted it here. Okay, and it's also on the website of the class. Where did they go? It's an organization called Kashrut, and they have a lot of publications, and they're pretty machmir as a rule. Okay, that you can find them online. Kashrut Hilchot Lulav, you can find them online. So that's a nice picture of the folded leaf, right? And that, if the tiamat looked like that, you're certainly not going to buy it. Now, I had a picture here that I wanted to show you. This Doc Rosho. Where is that picture? Kovats. Here is what they say about kovats. A wrinkled lulav is puzzle. Okay, and you see this a lot. And he says little wrinkles at the top of the lulav. That's not makuvas. He says that's kosher lechatchila. So that's what I'm saying earlier. It's very subjective. A lot of these, like how wrinkled is wrinkled? He says that this wrinkle is kosher lechatchila. Okay? Small crowded wrinkles is not what the Shulchan Aruch is calling mekuvat. He'll say, go for it lechatchila. On the other hand, the Sefer Kashrut Arba Minim, he looks at this. He puts this with kibbutz. He says it's possible. He's not saying definite. It's possible. It's possible that this is what we're calling mechuvats. And that would be puzzle if you say mechuvats, like this is kamatim ktanim, small wrinkles. I guess I'll tell you, there is a subjective quality to this. So, like again, when you go to buy your Arba Minim, probably you're buying it from someone who gets his Arba Minim from a distributor, and the distributor tells him, this is what you should be charging. This is your price range. So the 70 shekel lulav would not unlikely look like this. And some people say this is kosher lechatchila. Some people say maybe, okay, maybe it's puzzle. All right, and that's the subjective thing. You're looking, or like Miss Mann said, most of the lulavim that you see for even 150 shekels, when you get the set, well, I shouldn't say look, when you get 150 shekel set, the lulavim look like this. And the thing is, they don't rattle. They're so young. The leaves haven't really, I guess, I don't know what, I'm a botanist. They mature, they become more flexible, so you can shake them and rattle them. Most of them that I see in that price range don't really rattle. They don't do nanua. You shake them back and forth, they get a little. Sometimes you want something a little more impressive. That's going to cost you more money. And then you get to another question, well, how much money do I have to spend? And that comes to the question of hidur mitzvah. First, any questions about a lulav before we go on? Any questions?
I was wondering, I was wondering if, because I really do like to hear it rattle, yeah, is it better for, is it better to do it with the rattling, or is it better because it doesn't rattle because it's more halachic?
No, rattling is good. Now, that's not nice. It'd be good. It would be good. Okay, but it's not like a deal breaker. The deal breaker are the physical flaws in the lulav that we've spoken about. And that leads to the next question. How much money are we expected to spend on any mitzvah in general, or particularly the mitzvah of lulav, Arba Minim? So I want to talk about that now. Okay, well, why isn't this working? Okay, and that's what we're going to get to now. So I want to go back to this ad, all right? It's just a good example of and you can spend more. This ad was near my house. I took a picture of it Sunday. Where did my ad go? Where'd my ad go? Lulav ad. I lost my ad. Okay. Now I feel bad. Okay, we saw the price was 70, 80, 90, and 220. Those are the prices, right? Where'd my ad go? Find it one more time. I like graphic. That's why I'm looking for the ad so much. Okay, here's my ad. This is by my house. 70, 90, 120. How much money do you have to spend? This is the halacha. It's halacha in Shulchan Aruch. Okay, it's interesting. Hidur mitzvah, Mishnah Berurah. Where's my Mishnah Berurah? Okay. There's a concept of hidur mitzvah. It's in the Gemara. It's based on a pasuk, and it applies to all mitzvot. All right, really, this applies to all mitzvahs. It's a concept of hidur mitzvah, but in Shulchan Aruch it's by kinyan ha'etrog, because the etrog is the pre-eitz hadar, right? So that's really where the Torah actually really says hidur pre-eitz hadar, right? Where are my psukim? Okay, that's it. Pre-eitz hadar, the beautiful fruit, right? So, and from there we get all mitzvot have a concept of hidur mitzvah. It's not just lulav, because it's a drasha based on the pasuk in Az Yashir. This is my God, and I will serve God beautifully. And the Gemara says, okay, I will make myself beautiful before Hashem with my mitzvah. Sukkah na'eh, lulav na'eh, tzitzis na'eh, sefer Torah na'eh. All mitzvot should be done beautifully. But but Arba Minim, since it's pre-eitz hadar, it really became important over there. So how does hidur mitzvah work? So there are two opinions in the Gemara, and there are two opinions in Shulchan Aruch. I bought a minimally acceptable etrog. And etrog is easy to quantify because it has a shear. The minimum size of an etrog is an egg. I went to my refrigerator, I took out a hard-boiled egg so it won't break in my pocket. I took it to the shuk Arba Minim. I found an etrog the size of my egg and I bought it. Okay, I can make a bracha on it. Then I found a bigger esrog. Mitzvah sif ad shlish. I have a mitzvah to spend more than, I have to go up 1/3. So an easy number, if I bought an esrog the size of an egg for 60 shekels, and then I see an egg, an esrog the size of an apple, I have to spend 80 shekels on that esrog. Okay? Because that's hiddur mitzvah. Okay? Because I have to get something nicer. Hiddur mitzvah is not, it's nice. It sounds, oh, hiddur is nice. It's actually an obligation. But we'll see, there are other parameters. I see two in front of me. Okay, and I go back to the ad. All right, I just like the ad because I like numbers. Here, I go to this kid's stand. He has a 70 shekel set, an 80 shekel set, and a 90 shekel set. Then you have 200. If I go to this kid's stand, I think I want to spend 70 shekels. But then I see the 70, 80, 90. If I can afford it, 1/3 of 70 is 23. I did the math. It's 23 1/3. I have to go up to 93 1/3 shekels. So if I go to him thinking I'm going to spend 70, I must buy the 90 shekel. Because I have hiddur mitzvah is not optional. It's really obligatory. I don't have to go up to 200 because that's almost 3 times what I planned on spending. If my budget was 70, I have to get up to 90. That's the second opinion in the Shulchan Aruch about hiddur mitzvah. Now, where'd my Mishnah Berurah go? Okay, so that's the second opinion. Yesh misha omer. As long as it's not more than 1/3 more. So here's the Mishnah Berurah, and I just want to make out some points. If I bought the 70 shekel set, then I go to another stand and they have a 90 shekel set, I don't have to buy it unless the first guy sold me will give me my money back. I exchange it. Okay, so I went to the guy, or even this kid. I gotta erase this. I put this in the wrong spot. Put this over here. Okay. So here he is. I go to the guy. I take out 70 shekels. I buy set kosher. And then I see he has another box. So that's a nice one. How much do you want for that one? 90. I have to be willing to spend 90. First, he has to give me back the 70 shekels I spent on the kosher one. Because, as the Mishnah Berurah says, and here he is again, I don't like to quote things by heart. I don't have to have 2 osrogim. That's a hiddur mitzvah. If he'll give me my money back so I can buy the more expensive one, fine. If he's not going to give me my money back, then I don't have to spend money on a second esrog. Okay. Unless maybe I can sell it to somebody else, which I really find unlikely. No one's going to buy Arba Minim from me. If I buy it and I bought it, I'm done. But as I'm shopping around, I have to keep in mind what's my original budget, and then I have to be willing to go up 1/3. Okay. And he goes there. I see two sets in front of me, like most places. They have boxes. They're all kosher. Everything at this kid's stand is kosher. But like he says, there's kosher, there's mahudr, there's mahadrin, there's aleph aleph. It's an aesthetic thing. Hadar is beauty. The other srogim are nicer. I have to buy the nicer ones. Okay? But then the Mishnah Berurah says, you know what? If the first one has the right shear and it's good, he says no one thinks you don't really have to buy another one. But the Gra quotes the Yerushalmi, for Esok V'Luv didn't call mitzvot. So Sham Yosef B'Shir Ramatza Achba Not Tzachos Chavasavat Shlish. The Gra says the Mishnah Berurah is inclined to thinking if I got for 70 shekels kosher, all the shita, I'm done. I don't have to spend any more money. But the Gra says if it's nicer, and that's why the aesthetic thing, especially by a srogim, you have to buy the nicer one. Okay, if you can get your money back, ad shlish. The hada mitzvah ad shlish. Mishra says, okay, this kid is selling me 70, 80, 90. And then there's 220. Okay. If you can afford the 220, the Mishra says you don't have to spend the 220. Even if you're not like poor. That's what Chazal said. Shlish. It's a Gemara in Baba Kama. So if my budget is 100, I have to go up to 133 shekels. And I don't have to go to 150 even. I don't have to. 133. There's Chazal said a limit to it. Okay? Now the Gemara goes on. Minim Gemara ad shlish mishlom and kambech mishal kadosh baruch hu. I have to go up to a third. If I go beyond a third, kadosh baruch hu will pay me back. Okay, which is good. All right. There's no obligation for me to go from 100 to 150. All right. It's not a waste of money because Baruch Hu will reward me. It's not like some things, there's really no mitzvah to do it, to get involved in it all. But Hiddur mitzvah, if you can afford it, you can go beyond a third. And some people say if you're really wealthy, you're an Ishamid, and you have like tremendous wealth, then you should go more than a third. And so that's basically it. At least for today, we just spoke about Lovim. Lineda, next week we'll talk about a Srogim. But again, the basic thing that you want, and I post on the website also a basic chart, like what do you really, really need in your Arba Minim? So where did it go? Was it this? No, that's the picture of the man with the loop. I just want to show you the chart. Put the chart. It was like the first thing I did before I started the shear. Here we are. This is a chart. Okay, it's a pretty good chart. And we can just, okay. Madrik made a quick chart for the Arba Minim. Oh, no, this doesn't fit on the screen, so I'll go back to kashrut. Okay, what do I need in my lulav? I just want to make sure we all got something. Halachot lulav. Okay, orach lulav. How long does it have to be? Okay, this and again. When we're measuring the lulav, we're talking about the length. We're not talking about from the bottom to the top. What I'm talking about when I'm buying a lulav is from the base to where the leaves start. So and you'll see a better picture. That's from the back. They should show you from the front. Where's the Tiamat picture again? I want the bottom of this lulav is down there somewhere. I want to get from the bottom down there to here, where the leaves start. Where's my red? Where's my yellow? I need a bright color. All right, so again, if you live in Israel long enough, you know there's Chazon Ish and there's a Chaim Noah. How long is a tefach? Well, Chaim Noah says a tefach is 8 centimeters. So if I need 4 tefach of lulav, this you should measure. Take a tape measure with you when you pick out your lulav. Make sure that the spine of the lulav, until where the leaves break, all separate, I have 32 centimeters. Okay, that's a good, that you don't always get. It's worth checking. That's good to check. The Chazon Ish says a tefach is a little bit more. Okay, it should be it's 10 centimeters. Okay, and he says we're not measuring from tip to tip. We're measuring the spine of the lulav. Okay, besides the leaves, then the leaves start branching out from the spine. I need 4 tefach of spine. Okay. And I'm not measuring from the base where there are no leaves at all. I want 4 centimeters of a spine that has leaves. Okay, so you measure. So when you go to the shuk Arba Minim, and it's like a handle, a solid handle, that doesn't count as lulav. I want the spine from where the leaves begin until there's a place where it's all leaf. And then I don't really see a solid spine anymore. So that's worth measuring. And they show you here, I think it would have been better if they were showed you from the other side. Okay, that's it. You measure your lulav. Okay, you measure from here to where it's like the spine just turns into just a whole bunch of leaves. Okay, I should have had a better picture of that. All right, we can go on. What's this kashrut thing here? Oh, it didn't come out good. Oh, here it talks about the tiomet, and the Mishnah Berurah said we saw the Mishnah, so we'll go back to Mishnah Berurah for the tiomet, which is important. I want the top leaf not to be split, and as long as it's less than a tefach, which is 8 centimeters, you're really okay. And if you're very, very wealthy and you can afford it, you can buy a lulav which would be Yotzev Chayadam, which is totally closed. But like I showed you in the beginning, with that sticker, this is Yashar, Sigur Kimat Ad Lamala, almost close to the top. He's not saying it's close to the top. Close to the top, all the way like the Chayadam. That's another league of price ranges. Almost to the top. So it's more than a tefach. The tefach is 8 centimeters. So certainly the top central leaf is not going to be split 8 centimeters. It'll be split like we saw the picture over here, that much. If that's all split, the Mishnah Berurah says you're good. He says, Medina, you don't have to take the chayadim into account at all. So you're good. Go back to over here. Where's my kashrut thing? Okay. The kara leaf. I showed you a picture of the kara leaf. Remember, some people like that lulav with the leaf. That because when you have the kara leaf, I know that the top leaf is sealed. So, like, what are the considerations? Some people will pay extra for it, and some people won't take it at all. Okay, that's already the question of how you want to hold. So, where did my page go? Where's kashrut? Things pop up and down here. Give me a moment. I'm going to find it again. You got the kara leaf. Okay. All right. He quotes, this is the Beit Yosef. I want the 2 separate top leaves to be really stuck together, like a single leaf. Which is hard to find. Well, but I've seen where the Beit Yosef, where I live, we have lots of lulavim like that. That's what they call the kara. So b'yotzev, it seems this is very, very desirable. Okay, and people buy it, and they're not afraid that this leaf is separating the tiomet. But some people won't buy a lulav like this. Okay, some people really, really want it, and some people won't take it even for free. Okay, some people want it because it's really, really. I know the leaves aren't separated, and some people won't. So, like, why won't they? Okay, Aleph. The leaf is, I think the tiomet is closed because there's a leaf over there. Now, if the tiomet was split, the leaf would have fallen off. I don't know. They don't like it like that. Now it comes to Miss Man and the rattling. The leaves have to shake. Some people say, what does it mean to lananea? I can say it either means to move it up and down, back and forth, or if to rattle the leaves. Okay, when I have a lulav with that kala leaf, they won't rattle. As Miss Mann said, she wants her leaves to rattle. That's the minhag Ashkenaz. It's a very, very desirable thing. So he said, some people think to have the kara leaf is a hitter. And some people say, no, I don't want the leaf. I want to know that the leaves are all together. And that requires a lot of checking. I have to take a good hard look at it. Now, I don't know anybody who sells lulavim will let you start taking the leaves apart to check that the tippy top leaf is stuck together. I mean, I've seen more. I don't know what they're doing in this picture. When you go to the shuk, you see people looking really, really close. Sometimes they're taking magnifying glasses out, which is really going over the top. But they won't take that brown leaf, because if the brown leaf is there, then the leaves aren't going to rattle. And minhag Ashkenaz is, I want to hear a little rattle. I want the leaves to be a little bit loose. I wish I knew what they were looking for. They seem like very interested in something. I don't know what they're doing in that picture. I don't know. If I don't know, I don't know. I say I don't know. All right, so that's the kara leaf. Some people like it, some people don't. The split, the leaf that's a hemneck, we saw that he says, again, I have a picture of the hemneck leaf. There's my hemneck. That's a problem. You very rarely see this. I've seen it once. I once saw that in a box. All right, you're not going to, like I said, that when they get to retail, these obvious problems usually sorted out. All right. So where's my kashrut? Now I lost it. Where'd you go? Okay, that's called henmek. Okay. All right. And they say it has to be far apart. Nistak hetev. How far is far? I don't know. I don't know how far is far. All right. The last thing is the wrinkled leaves. Again, and the Sefer Kashrut Arba Minim, he's inclined to tell you, don't buy it. These people, on the other hand, say it's kosher l'chatchila. Okay? So that's odd. It's not really odd. It's a subjective thing. So that's that. That's buying a lulav. So really, my heartfelt advice is find a lulav in a closed container with a sticker from someone who's reliable, like Rav Osner, that says kosher, and you're good. It's nice if you can. Now it's in the season. You can find this safe with kashrut Arba Minim. If you're capable, you can buy it and study it, and you'll be, like Sai Sims said, an educated consumer who's our best customer. That's that for lulavim. Any questions?
Yes, I want to ask, I've heard that you don't buy the lulav, you buy the esrog, and the lulav comes with it.
Not true.
No?
No. You're buying a set.
Are you talking about like a Shemitah?
During Shemitah year, you're buying the lulav and not the esrog. But this year is in Shemitah year, so that's not even an issue.
Oh, okay.
Maybe I think Ms. Mina said you're thinking about Shemitah, whereas the fruit has Kedushas Shviyah, so you're buying the lulav and they toss in the esrog. I think that Ms. Mann is right.
Oh,
Thank you, Ms.
okay.
Mann.
Thank
All
you.
right. All
Bye.
right. Anything
Bye.
else?
Thank you.
No other questions? All right. Thank you for your time.
Thank
Have a
you.
good
Refuah
day.
Shleima, Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next week we'll talk about estrogen. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.